Sadly, we can't investigate the 5 slipping waves right now. In any case, what we can analyze is what's going on. I remember we can all agree that the expense movement in this space seemed like it was evolving in this manner. What seriously thinking about how we are correct now seeing an extension over the last low, we can examine an ABC update rather than a 5-wave slipping turn of events. We can say that we finished our work here. We finished our B wave and it seems like Bitcoin is additionally finished for the present. It is the letter C LNet wave, a kind of sewing machine. Also, the wick ignored a few standards and we took tremendous boatload of cash. We know this considering the way that different people lost all their money. Essentially, expecting you look at the money stream and RSI markers on an even more drawn-out timespan range, like the hourly chart, you'll see that they are both showing that the stock is oversold right now. It seems like obviously the base for Bitcoin could have been pursued as of now. We wrapped up changing our ABC here. Besides, thusly, we could see the expense of Bitcoin go up in the going with a couple of hours. This second, certain people will say that we're seeing a few signs that the expense could go down in the next hour. This is thinking about the way that the 50-hour moving standard and the 200-hour moving ordinary have crossed each other. In any case, our 500 is lower than our 250 moving midpoints, so we are seeing a scarcely more delicate model on the 1-hour timeframe. At any rate, all over, the model is at this point going up. Following 2 hours, genuinely climbing. The period of time is at standard stretches. Moving upwards. I think Bitcoin looks noteworthy, right? Eventually thinking about how its moving midpoints are going up and it has a different gathering exchanging it.in this way, we will most likely see more monstrous principles in the going with a couple of days. If you haven't bought right now, we should consider buying at the ordinary level of 35,400. This is the standard level here. Has actually been used or gotten to. We truly need to make a few imperative thoughts in the going with 9 hours and 30 minutes. We will express one more area of help at 35,500, which will be the most raised for that day. This level may not be asserted for the present. It will be ensured, actually. The line on the standard construction is planning with the most basic and bottommost limits we've seen quite a bit early. This makes it a strong assistance locale for Bitcoin. Again, if the model goes to some degree plunging, we could see it. What does that mean? Again, if the expense goes down and tests our assistance district, we with canning inspect buying with a stop mishap under the past low or the standard assistance region. Everything truly depends on how much bet you are great with taking. As of now place, since we also need to focus in on the resistance district. In reality we broke down this protected region. Expecting that we interface the lower concentrates now, we can see an inclining line. Expecting we follow the Fibonacci numbers, we will see that the amazing degree is being attempted as the expense goes down from its high to its low. Yet again, that is the explanation I'm conveying, that in case the expense goes down and doesn't go under the unimaginable Fibonacci degree, this is the area we should focus in on for help. Incidentally, in case we expand our advantages beginning here as opposed to a higher point, it will match our previous highs and our planned level. As of now, the volume levels will be really higher than the noteworthy Fibonacci degree and our diagram level. Anyway, have sureness if the expense goes up. The really fundamental level to watch is the magnificent Fibonacci level of 36,800. Accepting we climb sensibly, attempt to arrange the characteristic of control and the value area high on your chart. At any rate, I really think we look great and positive right now. We know unequivocally where our stop fiasco level will be if our assistance district doesn't hold. I would despite concur that we are going lower with less trading headway since people are losing cash right now. As per my perspective, we truly look perfect and certain, but we really need to know where our stop level is if the market double crosses us. We have not showed up at our old level of help, yet rather we are attempting to get there. So unfortunately we can't just in a little while examine something else about this 5-wave drop down. Regardless, what we can take a gander at is really going to be a truly more bullish circumstance. Ultimately, I figure we can all agree that this specific expense movement at this specific area did look particularly recovering, right? So, thusly, what's more, since we are right at present seeing a drive up off the past low here, we can take a gander at an ABC correction instead of the 5-wave drop down. So we can right as of now say we completed our locale here. We got our B wave, and furthermore it is obviously Bitcoin right at present wrapped up. It's C LNet wave. Basically, besides, the wick here clearly ignored a piece of the past guidelines, and that suggests we got some liquidity. Moreover, clearly, how we grabbed a lot of liquidity here, considering the way that, as implied right now ahead of time, different people got completely destroyed and traded. Moreover, expecting that you go right now, for example, with the money stream marker with the RSI pointer on a higher term timeframe, on poverty-stricken individuals hourly, you will see oversold here. Furthermore, oversold on the RSI marker. Subsequently, emphatically is obviously that as of the continuous second, the base or perhaps some kind of a close by base for Bitcoin can truly be in. We completed our ABC change here. Moreover, clearly, consequently, maybe in the next few hours, we can be expecting higher splendid lights on the Bitcoin respect itself. As of now, certain people are right at this point going to say, we are seeing a few skeptical signs in our exceptional moving midpoints on the 1 hourly timeframe since we are seeing a cross of our 50 and 200 uncommon moving norm. In any case, I would in any event, considering how our 500 is under our 200 and under our 50 remarkable moving ordinary, all we are seeing is possibly decimating model on the 1 hourly time span. In any case, generally speaking model, we are still in a climb. 2 hourly, still in an ascent. 4 hourly time period, still in a climb. So considering right now the astonishing moving midpoints on various time spans, taking as of now and looking at the liquidations here, furthermore the volume, I would truly say that Bitcoin looks phenomenally bullish. Essentially, subsequently, most plainly we can be expecting higher concentrations in the next few days. Furthermore, if you haven't actually entered a just out of the plastic new wide or a buying position where we can be looking for an immaculate long, clearly, here we had the standard level at 35,400. In the end this standard level here has actually been tapped. So we ought to be truly more creative soon, particularly in 9 hours and 30 minutes, we will ensure a just out of the plastic new ordinary high term period of time area of help at 35,500. This customary level here isn't insisted as a right now. It will be, clearly, attested on the normal close, and this ordinary line here is changing definitely flawlessly with our past highs here, moreover with our past lows, and that initiates this here is a very splendid assistance region for Bitcoin. If we are truly going to see another slight change back towards trouble. So what's the importance here? If there will be another push down, expecting there is really going to be another retest of our assist district here, we with canning on a very basic level with being expecting to go with a flawless long requesting interface position with a stop fiasco put, maybe under the past low, or maybe under our customary high term time span area of help, depends clearly how much bet are you organized to take. Right now here you similarly need to think, since we furthermore need to zero in on the area of block. As of now this area of resistance was by then implied yesterday. At this point, in case we go right now an affiliation point our more horrendous high focuses here, we genuinely have a corner to corner level. Enduring we go with our Fibonacci, you will eyewitness that accepting we go from our high towards our low, the sensational Fibonacci degree is right at this point being retested. Consequently, to that end I'm saying that expecting there is another push towards trouble, excusal from our heavenly Fibonacci degree, this is the assistance locale for us to zero in on, regardless, if we just after a short time encourage our great pocket, not from this high, yet rather really from this high here, wonderful pocket unequivocally over our past highs and furthermore totally at our plan level. In the long run, with our volume levels, those volume levels will be possibly higher than our magnificent Fibonacci degree and our outline level. Regardless, in any case, I would settle if, notwithstanding all, that there is a push towards the ordinary augmentation here, the primary locale for you to zero in on staggering Fibonacci level of 36,800. Enduring we go scarcely higher, guarantee you likewise have on your framework point of control what's more the value area high. Regardless, a little while later, I would regardless concur that we are loose. Sadly, we can't investigate the 5 slipping waves right now. In any case, what we can analyze is what's going on. I remember we can all agree that the expense movement in this space seemed like it was evolving. In this manner, what seriously thinking about how we are correct now seeing an extension over the last low, we can examine an ABC update rather th. Following the presence of the CPI data report, Bitcoin experienced a beast decrease in regard, achieving fundamental challenges for individuals who had taken out colossal credits to place assets into it. Today, we'll take a gander at the Bitcoin cost out. We'll check whether this is a horrendous sign and where we can make another trade. In any case, the CPI data report was lower than expected. Anyway, when the information was uncovered, Bitcoin was being exchanged for around 36,600 and didn't show up, obviously, to be affected by the CPI data. Then again, if we start placing now in S&P 500 or US 100, we could see gigantic expansions. Right, tragically, Bitcoin didn't go up. We just saw an unpretentious proportion of progress around here, followed by a basic obliteration of around 6%. In reality we evaluated it, and we see a gigantic positive change in the CV. All through the new days, we have been seeing that our CVD pointer is showing new more woeful put spots down, while Bitcoin has been making really consoling put spots down. The CVD, consolidated volume difference, is showing areas of strength for basic for a tremendous extension. As we insinuated yesterday, it's attempting to completely trust this increment in light of the fact that in advance, we saw a basically unclear extension and sometime later Bitcoin's worth went down an unfathomable arrangement. The expense of Bitcoin went up a well-conceived plan. Consequently, when we see a colossal drop in the expense of Bitcoin, it typically proposes the opposite will happen. Bitcoin dropped a remarkable strategy, and it transmits an impression of being an uncommon chance to buy more. A tremendous piece of the market. Eventually, expecting you look at the liquidations, you will see that we have discarded 100 million of long circumstances in just an hour. Thus, a noteworthy number individuals don't have all of the stores of being buying for a long time this second. Besides, thusly, it will make the expense of Bitcoin go up. As of now, in case we look at the Coinbase chart and the volume pointer, we can see that on this excusal light, there was an immense improvement in trading volume. Regardless, you'll see that Bitcoin showed up at a new low with really less trading volume. So that on a very basic level instigates that we will decrease here. We are purging people's propensities in Bitcoin, yet how much Bitcoin being traded is at this point lessening. It doesn't emit an impression of looking like the market will have an immense drop in regard. Again, I will show you where the value of Bitcoin could start to go up, if we look at the essential procedure. We insinuated a specific level a couple of days sooner that could be a urgent pivotal occasion for the value of Bitcoin that we can basically impart beyond what many would consider possible with a straight line. It seems like the expense of Bitcoin went up around the assistance with covering on the plan. Furthermore, when we use the Fibonacci numbers from unquestionably the base to the most raised point, it in like manner matches the wonderful Fibonacci degree. What was the particular dollar all out that was reached, assessing the extreme expenses with how much trading? The most raised sign of control or the most striking expense level in the upper expense range was reached decisively. Following appearance up at our assistance level, we are at present seeing another extension of around 5%. Furthermore, study yesterday we inspected that we could see a 5-wave cost plan dropping down. We said we felt the supervisor's strong inclination right now. Update, another dazzling tendency could repeat. Another falter fixed. Also, clearly, we can moreover expect another and last drop down anyway. Until additional advance notice, we ought to analyze the specific 5 striking costs going down. The continuous second, we are seeing a push upwards for the 4th wave, and that proposes the 5-wave cost structure is no longer valid. After the past CPI data report, Bitcoin got a basic pushdown, obliterating everyone with a high-impact long position. In the present Bitcoin cost assumption video, we will take a gander at if this is as of now a terrible sign and where we can be expecting to go with an impeccable short or maybe a long trade. Yet what we will, specifically, see, the CPI data report came in ideally lower over expected anyway. Around then, at that point, when the data was passed on, Bitcoin was trading at around 36,600 and was not precisely answering on the CPI data. Clearly, in case we go right now, for example, with the S&P 500 or maybe with US 100, both of them got a fundamental push towards the sensible addition. Anyway, unfortunately, Bitcoin didn't follow. All we got was very slight laying out generally at this specific region, followed by a key move towards weight of around 6%. At last, yesterday we reviewed it, we are representing a huge bullish CV uniqueness. Persistently for the new days, we have been seeing great more awful deterred spots being molded on our CVD pointer, while Bitcoin has been essentially outlining incredibly captivating really inspiring beat spots down, insane and a tremendous bullish CVD contrast. Yet what's more as suggested yesterday, unfortunately, when we see such a basic bullish capability, we can't really acknowledge it uncommonly pondering the way that from our experience, for example, from 14th of September, when I posted that Bitcoin is seeing an insane negative uniqueness here. We got a fundamental helper on the Bitcoin respect itself. So it really is evidently that when we are seeing an especially giant help happening in the Bitcoin respect itself, it is regularly going to happen absolutely remarkable. So Bitcoin got an insane push towards the weight and on this specific push down, since everyone, it appears as though we're entering what's happening at this specific district yet again clearly, greater piece of the market. Looking at the liquidations, you will see we have gotten on only the 1 hourly fire definitively 100 million of long possessions getting completely racked and sold. In this way, greater piece of people as of the continuous second, it genuinely is obviously, are not holding a long hourly buy as of right now anymore. Besides, clearly, hence, that is irrefutably going to be a bullish sign for the Bitcoin respect itself. At last, expecting that we go, for example, with the Coinbase frame and with the volume marker, what we will see on this specific excusal light, we positively got a major volume spike, yet what you're right at this point going to see is that Bitcoin molded an unblemished lower low here on a maybe lower volume. So on an extremely essential level understands that we will bring down here. We are obliterating people or truly we are selling people with their long positions, yet the volume of Bitcoin is at this point going endlessly lower and looking right now at how much volume really came in the market. Since it was lower versus what we got at this specific high, this is comparatively not precisely going to be a particularly suspicious Bitcoin sign, so permitted me to write as of now accommodate you where we really skip, since, in such a case that we zoom out to some degree, expect on the 4-hour time span, we actually reviewed several days sooner about a buy and large brilliant corner-to-corner level. So we can basically coordinate our genuinely elevating deterred spots with a corner-to-corner support region. It really emits an impression of looking like the Bitcoin got a skip generally at our corner-to-corner support district here. Furthermore, enduring we go with our Fibonacci from swing low back to our swing high, it was additionally the unfathomable Fibonacci degree. Likewise, furthermore, what level was hit by a genuine perspective to the particular dollar precision, assessing the entire upper expense portion with the volume, you will take note. Spot of control or the best volume pack of the entire upper expense advancement hit unequivocally to the dollar precision. After we hit our assistance district, we are right correct now seeing another push towards the possible augmentation of around 5%. Additionally, survey yesterday we examined that we can be zeroing in on some kind of a 5-wave cost structure toward